Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to reviewing a big Easter weekend of Premier League Championship and FA Cup action. But let's start off in the Premier League where it finished Tottenham 0, Brighton 1 in a shock result at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And the goal came late on through Trossard and Brighton, for me, they were fully deserving of the win here. They were outstanding. Tottenham not one shot on goal. They were just really poor here. And as I say, Brighton fully deserving the win, but fortunately for Tottenham, they did kind of get bailed out by results later on. But yeah, they didn't get bailed out by United game because they picked up a fantastic win, a 3-2 win over Norwich. I mean, it wasn't fantastic in terms of the performance at all, really, because Norwich, you could say, matched them, but it was fantastic in terms of one man, Cristiano Ronaldo, scoring a hat-trick in the 7th, 32nd minute and the 76th minute. A beautiful free kick to see it as well. But Norwich got 2 goals when they were 2-0 down to level it. United just about held on. I mean, it wasn't a textbook performance, but this game they really should be winning. And at the end of the day, they will say it doesn't matter how you win. They got the win eventually. Moving on then to Southampton 1, Arsenal 0 at St Mary's. Jan Bednarek was the only goal of the game in the 44th minute. For Southampton, it was... they weren't the best team here, I think it's fair to say. Arsenal, any other sport, I think Mikel Arteta said they would have won, and to be honest, he's probably right. But yeah, it's Fraser Forster. It was an absolute masterclass here. Some of the saves he made were just incredible. And for Southampton, after the result last week, that's a big win. But for Arsenal, their top 4 hopes are just rapidly fading. Moving on then to Watford 1 and Brentford 2 at Vicarage Road, Norgard gave Brentford the lead in the 15th minute before Dennis equalised in the 55th minute, but a Pontus Jansson in the 95th minute gave Brentford the winner with a Christian Eriksen assist. For Brentford, a huge win from them. They're totally safe now. To be honest, it was quite an even game. I'd probably say a draw would have been a fair result, but for Brentford, it's a huge win for them. And Watford, I think it all but confirms the relegation if it wasn't confirmed already. On Sunday in the Premier League, Newcastle 2, Leicester 1 was the score. Leicester opened the scoring through Ademola Lookman in the 19th minute. However, Bruno Guimaraes equalised in the 30th minute, and it looked like the game would be a draw, but until the last minute when Guimaraes in the 95th minute gave Newcastle the win with a header. And what a great win this was for Newcastle. Deserved, in my opinion, as well. They played really well. Lift them up to 14th in the table. They're comfortably safe now, easily. And great job that Eddie Howe's doing. For Leicester, that's so very frustrating. Moving on then to the London Stadium, and it finished West Ham 1, Burnley 1 at the London Stadium. And I think this is a game where both teams will be disappointed, as Weghorst gave Burnley a lead in the 33rd minute, and Maxwell Cornet missed a penalty right on the stroke of half-time, and Thomas Souček in the 74th minute equalised for West Ham. And West Ham got the draw. And in the end, West Ham probably the better team, deserving the draw. But Burnley, they really felt like that should have been 3 points for that missed penalty. So I think both teams will be going around from this disappointed. Moving on to the Championship now, and it finished Luton 1, Forest 0 at Kenilworth Road, and a huge win for Luton. The only goal that came coming in the 37th minute from the penalty spot through Naismith. Bradley got sent off in the 77th minute. Luton just about held on though with 10 men. And for Forest, I think this is frustrating because they were bad here, but Luton just got their noses in front and Forest couldn't find the equaliser. But for Luton, it's a huge win, brings them back into the playoff position. For Forest, though, I think kind of ends any hope for the top 2. Birmingham 2, Coventry 4 was the score at St Andrews. Birmingham actually went 2-0 up in this game through Pedersen and Gardner, but an incredible comeback from Coventry. 2 goals from Ben Sheaf just before half-time equalled the scoring. But Rose and O'Hare sealed the win for Coventry in the second half. And an incredible comeback, like I say. A draw maybe fair result, maybe Coventry probably just about deserved it actually. And with top team struggling on Good Friday, could it bring them back into playoff contention? You never know. But moving on then to Bournemouth, as they drop points at home to Middlesbrough. And I think Bournemouth probably were the slightly best team in this one, but in the end there wasn't too much in it. 2 shots on target for Bournemouth, 1 on target for Middlesbrough, so not a lot between the two sides really. But I think Bournemouth will be happy with the 2 teams, mainly because Forest lost. They're still in a good position, aren't they? But Borough, outside the playoffs, and they need to start picking up victories just to really cement their position in the playoffs, that's for sure, because otherwise it's going to be a bit tight between them and Sheffield United on current form. Moving on then to Hull 2, Cardiff 1 at the KCOM, and Hull moved into their away shirt to change the luck, and it certainly did that because they were 2-0 up after 11th minute. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of the guy who scored the first goal, but Coyle scored the goal in the 11th minute, and Aidan Flint in the 81st minute pulled one back for Cardiff, but in the end the whole held on, and yeah, a whole good win. And yeah, it's all about these two sides. They're mid-table now, just ending the season on a high. Moving on then to Peterborough, they secured a big win against Blackburn, but realistically it's probably too little too late. Blackburn were actually down to 10 men in just before half-time when Eden was sent off, but Ben Brereton Diaz in the 77th minute still open scoring, but a late comeback from from Peterborough, through Sammy Smosdicks and Jack Marriott, sealed the win for Peterborough. And yeah, like I say, with Reading winning, their survival hopes still really don't have much of a chance, do they? But still, good win for them. But Blackburn, their playoff chances are really fading now. Moving on then to Preston, as they drew 1-1 with Millwall. Wallace with the own goal in the 6th minute gave Preston the lead, but he made up for it in the 22nd minute when he brought Millwall level, and in the end, I'd say maybe a draw was probably about the fair result. Not a lot to pick between the two sides, and yeah, I think most these two sides probably mid-table fodder now for the rest of the season. Maybe Millwall could launch a playoff push, but it's unlikely. But yeah, I think these two sides are mid-table, really. Moving on then to a crazy game at Bramall Lane. Well, I say crazy, the last minute was crazy. Lucas Shaw gave Reading the lead in the 17th minute, and yeah, it looked like Reading would drop points from winning positions again, when Dye equalised in 90th minute. But just a few minutes later, Tom McIntyre scored the winner for Reading, and absolutely incredible. Who saw that coming? Certainly not me. And for Reading, that's a huge victory. Absolute scenes at the end from the highlights I saw. And yeah, it all but concerns their survival now, really. For Sheffield United, that's a hammer blow in their playoff aspirations. Moving on then to another surprise result at the Bet365 Stadium. Stoke 0, Bristol City 1. Josh De Silva, the only goal of the game in the 84th minute, sealing the win for Bristol City. And yeah, I think Stoke will probably feel hard done by. They deserved at least a point from this, I'd probably say. It's a great win for Bristol City, especially after not being in great form recently. They're 18th in the table, Stoke 15th in the table. Both teams not had the best season, but Bristol City hopefully they can end it on a high after a bit of a tough patch. Moving on then to Swansea 1, Barnsley 1 at Liberty Stadium. Gomez gave Barnsley the lead in the 54th minute before Natcham equalised in the 64th minute. And yeah, for Barnsley, I thought they were fully deserving of a point here, if not more. Really, I thought they played pretty well here. But with Reading winning, it's still probably too late for them, isn't it? Really, but still frustrating for them not to pick up the victory. For Swansea, they were in 14th. I think they'll be a bit disappointed too. They've seen this as a winnable game. Moving on then to West Brom 2, Blackpool 1 at the Hawthorns. Andy Carroll in the 42nd minute gave West Brom the lead, but Peter in the 53rd minute equalised, but a late winner from Colin Grant in the 93rd minute gave West Brom the 3 points. And yeah, this is what I mean about West Brom. They're just so bloody inconsistent, it's ridiculous. 5 points off the playoffs. It's very unlikely, especially because West Brom are just so inconsistent. Like, next game they'll probably go and lose. But Blackpool in 16th, disappointing result for them. But it was always kind of free hit going for Hawthorns. Moving on then to Huddersfield 2, QPR 2 at the John Smith Stadium. And after 6 minutes, when Johan Barber goal gave Huddersfield the lead, you thought it would be a comfortable one for Huddersfield. But no, Amos in the 43rd minute equalised, but Toffler in the 53rd minute gave Huddersfield the lead, and Elias Chair equalised in the 58th minute. For QPR, after in such a terrible run of form, fighting back twice, I actually thought they played really well here, QPR, maybe deserving of the win as a whole, to be honest. I think improved performance has just come far too late for them. Moving on then, Fulham missed their chance to be promoted back to the Premier League at the first attempt when they were defeated 2-1 by Derby. Carvalho gave Fulham the lead in the 20th minute, and you thought it would be a walkover for Fulham by there, but no, a second half comeback from Derby through Luke Plange and an own goal in the 73rd minute, gave Derby the 3 points. And yeah, for 3 points for Derby, keeps them in the survival race a bit longer. It's very unlikely that they'll stay up, of course, keeps them in the survival race and just delays Fulham's promotion slightly. Moving on then to the FA Cup on Saturday, and yeah, a crazy game between Liverpool and Man City. Man City were just all over the show, especially their goalkeeper in the first half, Zach Steffen, with two terrible mistakes yesterday, especially the second goal. But Liverpool were just outstanding in the first half through Konate, Mane and Brace from him. And yeah, in the second half, City came back fighting, got a goal almost immediately through Grealish, and they continued to huff and puff City, and 91st minute got a goal through Bernardo Silva. But yeah, in the end it was too little too late. City lost the game, Liverpool held on for a win, and yeah, that's the first half performance from Liverpool was just absolutely scintillating and deserved the win. But City will be so frustrated because the mistakes from their goalkeeper, let's face it, kind of cost them here. They'll be deeply frustrated, but Liverpool for me deserving winners. Chelsea 2, Palace 0 was the score at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. And it's a quiet first half to the game, and really approaching the hour mark when Ruben Loftus-Cheek, great to see him in the score sheet, gave Chelsea in the 65th minute, and the second was scored by Mason Mount. And after that, there wasn't much else from Palace, to be honest. But Chelsea on the whole, I'd say they probably deserved it. Palace gave a good account of themselves for the first 2/3, but in the end just couldn't quite hold on for the whole game, and Chelsea deservedly in the final, setting up a cracking match for Liverpool. Anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Any thoughts, comments down below for us to say. Switch me for daily football news and subscribe to my channel on the screen, and I'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!